Alright guys, welcome. I'm just going to do a backtesting session. So you can see on this screen here, this is the 1 minute chart on NASDAQ futures. And on my left side here, I have a 15-minute chart where I draw my zones. As you can see here, they're all based off these white dots, which is called X control, which is essentially the speed of buyers or sellers. In this case, this is a down candle, so that's the speed of sellers. This is the speed of sellers also. This is the speed of buyers because it's an up candle. So I draw my zones before every session based off this formation here. And then I come over to my 1 minute chart, and then basically all I'm doing is really quite simple. I'm trading from zone to zone. A lot of traders do this. Why would you suggest going or trading off these zones here? Well, because in this case here, the speed of selling was quite prominent here. Doesn't mean that it can't go the other way. It's just a really good reaction area to take trades from. I don't trade in the middle. Generally try to stay away from that. And I'm only taking trades off these zones. So I'm looking for really simple things like, so in this instance, it's sort of looking good for shorts here. We've got diminished demand and diminishing cumulative delta, and buying is reducing. But in saying that, this is an open, and usually in an open you get some form of reversal. It's not always the case, but it's just good to be vigilant and see what price action is actually telling you. So I'm just going to play this back through and do my best to talk you through the setups that I'm going to take, and hopefully if you have any questions or anything, you can just send them in the comment section below. But yeah, very simple sort of idea of what I'm trying to do here. So breaks of these zones, breaks of these zones really, and we stay out of this area completely. Right, so let's press play, see what happens. So this is start of Frankfurt Open. This is 1 hour before London Open. London Open generally has a lot more volume. Doesn't mean to say that Frankfurt doesn't. There's a lot of people that trade pre-London Frankfurt Open. So in this instance, what I'm going to look for is I'm looking for a buy above this zone here, and I'm going to look for a sell below this zone here. So if you want, I just generally eyeball it, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to take buys above here and sells below here. Okay, that's sort of where I'm at here. It is a bit more risky taking. Okay, it's looking good for a buy. If I see a white dot here and a darker color candle signifying heavier volume, and the speed of buyers increases like that, I'm going to take a trade. So I'm in for a trade now. And yeah, as I was saying before, it's a bit risky taking trades into resistance. You can see that I've got some moving averages here, some exponential moving averages, and I've also got what's called VWAP. It's also day 1, day 2 VWAP, so volume weighted average price. And I'm hoping, so first target is always set to 25 ticks. I've got a 25 tick stop loss. I trade 2 contracts. One comes off at 25. The second one I move around generally. In this case, I'm going to move it in the middle of these white zones. And once price hits the first target, it will move my stop loss to break even +2. So it becomes a risk-free trade. So regardless of the fact, even if it hits profit target 1, I still walk away with some profit. And you sort of have to implement this sort of strategy or system when scalping, because it just moves that quickly. When you're trading on a 1 minute, it's just something that's a bit of a fail-safe strategy. Some people like it, some people don't, but I feel for me and my way of trading, it keeps me in the game a lot longer, and generally I'm not in for usually more than an hour of trading. Sometimes I'm done in 10 minutes. Sometimes this candle could have just continued up and hit my second target perfectly. And so it's hit the first target, it's fantastic. So it's moved it to break even. And sometimes it might take a little while. So generally, if I hit my first target and my second target, boom, done for the day. Don't really care about how much it is or what it is. It's the fact that I executed my plan. And if I can do that consistently over time, reap the rewards of it. So now we just wait. So I'm in a risk-free trade now. As you can see, price broke above this level that was sort of preset. So quite happy with that. So then if price hits this level here, we'll then reevaluate and we'll look for something similar. Look for some sort of break of a zone. And we're only really going to be taking trades, as mentioned before, just at these 15-minute predetermined zones that I've drawn on my 15-minute chart. And that's it, really. I'll try my best to explain what I see and how I see it. So right now, we can see that cumulative delta is quite high. There's a lot of buying happening here, so this is a lot of demand. You can call this cumulative delta. I just call it cumulative delta, or you can call it cumulative demand, whatever you want to call it. So look at that, almost hit the second take profit there, just by one tick. And yeah, we just wait for the next move. So if price hits here, I'm looking for something then similar again, whether that be another push to the upside or a push to the downside. Generally, I want to see some sort of move up, down, then back up again. And then the reverse of that, quite simple, is I want to see a push down. I want to see a push down, back up into the zone, and then back down here. So very simple idea in terms of the structure, and then executing based on the evidence that's in front of me, which is this order flow through these indicators. That's basically it. And then you just sit on your hands if price is in the middle. We don't want to trade in the middle. David Weiss, who's a Wyckoff, was a Wyckoff student, basically used this great analogy compared to trading. It's like, you've ever been on a fishing trip before? Generally, you know that the fish are at the edges. So if you know the fish are at the edges and that's where the best opportunities are, you wouldn't want to fish in the middle. So that's the sort of the story that he likes to tell, or did like to tell, and it's great. I think it's really useful to apply real life situations in trading, because you're looking at a screen and it's not really a normal thing to interact with in everyday life, in terms of, I don't know where I'm going with this, but it's good to just relate it to things that you already know. So I'll shut up now, and hopefully price will hit target, and then we'll look for another setup. I'm going to keep this live. I'm not going to make any cuts or edits. This is just raw. And if you have any comments or questions, please leave them for me. I'll do my best to answer them for you. And as I said, I'll try and explain what I'm seeing. I might make some mistakes along the way. That's trading. but I'll do my best to try not to for the purpose of this video. So yeah, just wait. So we're currently 2 o'clock was the open New York time. We're currently 16 minutes into the trade, and it's looking good. All right, so second target was hit. So in this instance, I would normally be done. That was, I said, 16 minutes worth of trading. You can go about your day and come back the next day and just do the same thing. That's all you need to do. Simple as that, really. All right, let's see if we're getting any opportunities. So right now, cumulative delta is blue. It's quite high at the moment. So that's a good sign for longs. It means that the strength is mostly with the buys. You can obviously see that in the price action as well. Demand has diminished here. That doesn't mean that it can pick back up again. So first and foremost, we've got cumulative delta in our favor. Fantastic. Generally, we want to see that as one of the precursors, as well as, some sort of demand. We want to see these essentially being the same color to give us confidence throughout the trade. And then we're just reading the order flow as it happens, as it appears. It could break up, but I think I said before, I kind of like to see, this is probably just a very minor pullback to then potentially go back up higher. I don't really like trading minor pullbacks. I like to see price sort of consolidate for a little while, so price to go up, right? Come back down, and then boom, take a long. So, everyone's got their way. I know what works best for me. And in this instance, that potential long opportunity to go to this next zone, I just wasn't taking it. So you shall wait for the next move. Demand's very strong here. Giving us more clues to potentially go long. Now, I'll come back to the 15-minute chart and just give you a bit more of an idea of what we're looking at here. So, really, if we get above, this 12,040 line, we've got all of this clean traffic, right? This is essentially low volume area. Anything that consolidates is essentially becomes a high volume area, right? Price really likes to go from high volume areas to low volume areas. So if price can break above here with a lot of demand, right, we could definitely see price continuing all the way up this line up until potentially around this area here. Next point of some form of resistance, if price does break up here, I'd be looking to take profits at this level here. So let's see what happens. Price has already broken up quite a bit. We get a really nice looking pullback, which is setting up to do, which is fantastic. So at this zone, price has shot up. It's come back down. So they're going to stay here, hover around this area for a bit, then most likely shoot back up again, depending on our demand and cumulative delta. But until then, we just wait. We sit on our hands until we see a worthwhile setup. Quickly just explain these dots again. So it basically, this is Mbox Wave Indicators. His website is mboxwave.com, I believe. Great set of indicators, highly recommend them. So these dots essentially signify the speed of selling or buying. In this case, it's the speed of selling. So a lot of sellers were selling at this point. Color of the candle, depending on the darkness, signifies heavy volume. So you can see compared to this red candle as opposed to this red candle, this candle has a lot more volume. That has a lot lighter volume. So generally, I like to take trades like this one. This was a great setup. I'll mark this just quickly. We broke this zone here, right? We had cumulative delta. Bit risky, as said, going through these EMAs and VWAP. So we've got low volume there. I'm not interested as for the pullback there. So high volume and surge of buyers here. So speed of buyers was increased. So we're looking for that sort of thing back down here. If we're looking for buyers, I basically want to see it come back down here. And then if I see some sort of initiation like this candle, then hopefully see price go back up again. Break this line again, as I mentioned, on the 15-minute chart, which represents this level here. We probably could see price go up to, what did I say? Yeah, this level here is the next real spot that it will probably stop for a little bit. But until then, we just wait for price to do what we sort of foresee. Won't ever know what the market's going to do. But we can definitely gauge an idea. We can put 2 points of potentials in place for longs and for shorts. And in this instance, right now, we've got more buying than selling. So you definitely want to be looking at buys more so than anything right now. So that could easily change. But as of right now, buyers are in control. You can see that. So we just wait for one of our setups. And sit on your hands. Trading can be bloody quite boring sometimes because these setups can take a lot longer. In which case you're highly focused on something. No interaction or no interruptions. It's just you and the markets. If you're tired, just don't trade. You've got to be hyper focused on everything that's happening and pre-plan or pre-prepare based on your zones what could happen. And if you can do that, if you can do that mentally, if you can draw that the way that I've been drawing it, and in your head, if you still need to draw it, bloody draw it, then you're doing great. But it's you in the market for however long you want to trade. I only trade between half an hour and an hour normally, but maximum 2 hours. If I get one trade, if I hit both targets, I'm done. I'm just out. I'm just sticking to one win, walk away. Nothing else to worry about. So price is now just consolidating, not doing very much at all. Okay. So we've got strong amount of sellers coming through here, but there's not a lot of volume. The candle's not very dark. I'm not sure if you can see that very well. But that's a bit of an indication if the candle finishes that way. Something called effort versus result. Now, effort versus result is like when you're playing a game of tug and war, right? You're putting all this effort in, right? And you're not getting very far. Generally what's going to happen is you're going to get tired and you might have a stronger team. And in which case, if the team is stronger, one of you start failing, the other side's just going to pull and rip you apart. So that's essentially what a first result is. Like if you compare this candle here, right, to this candle here, there's no effort versus result. That's a perfect result for the effort that was made. This had a lot of speed of selling here, but the result was minimal, right? The inverse of this candle is this candle. Effort and great result. Worked out really well. Low volume, a lot of effort, no result. That's the concept of effort versus result for you. So if I see that again, or if I see that a few more times, that's really telling me that sellers are having a massive, they're really struggling to sell price. And more often than not, because we're in an uptrend, the probability would say price could go higher. We've got an imbalance here. I would be selling below this level here, but I'm not seeing a lot of volume here. So it doesn't look like a good trade to get into. There's no volume. Candles are small. We're in an uptrend. There's not a lot working in the seller's favor here at this point. So we just sit and we wait. So ideally what I'd like to see in terms of a trade, I would like to take longs above this zone here, right? And I would like to see sells below this level here. Right? See that? Anyway, it's that zone there. That's what I'm looking for. Everything else is just noise to me. Effort versus result, effort versus result. What does that tell me? Is this going to be another effort versus result? Yep, it was. 1, 2, 3 effort versus result candles. So you're probably going to see price shoot up here. Am I going to take the trade? Maybe not, because cumulative delta is now switched here. That's below, but this is diminished. This could shoot. Yeah, look, it could shoot. But I'm sticking to my game plan of taking buys above this zone here and working with that basically. The price could come, tap this zone, come back down again, and shoot back up. If I took that trade, right, it's not wrong, but there's just it wasn't an A1 for me, so I'm not gonna take anything below an A1 setup. So got to be disciplined, The more mistakes, or the less mistakes you can make, and the less probable trades that you take, and you only take the A1 trades. That played out over time, like a casino, that has an edge. Casinos always make money. Well, most casinos make a shitload of money. I've never seen in Australia a casino go under ever. They have an edge. I have an edge. they play that edge out over time. They do really well. So it's the same principle. Funnily enough, trading is not gambling, although there are some similar characteristics of it. It can be gambling if you're not analyzing. If you're just willy-nilly taking a trade, buying and selling because you think a price is going to go up without any evidence of what I'm showing you here, that's gambling. So the other thing that people question as well is like, oh, it's gambling, you're still putting money on the table. Yeah, but here's the significant difference. When you go, I'm concentrating as well, so I might have to make a trade here soon because it's looking good to potentially break this zone here. Then I can continue with that. So when you gamble, right, you generally have to put your money down first, and you don't know what the odds are. And when you're trading, you put your money down when you know that the odds are in your favor. There's no casino that I know of that has games that will allow you to do that, where you know the odds. It's actually impossible to know the odds before you put your money down. This, you know the odds before you execute a trade. You're putting your money in. So that's the significant difference. I hope that makes sense. We're stalling here a little bit. I still think it's looking good for longs. We just need to see some significant strength here, some sort of X pace. I like that. I like that move. It's darker candle there. I'm going to move my stop just below this level here. This could just completely reverse on me. But I like that high volume. This is diminished. But that's fine. That's fine. If I take a loss, I take a loss. That's not good to see. But we've still got cumulative delta up. There's really not much supply at all. Almost got stopped there. Really what I should have waited for was, a candle like this. Sorry, more of a candle like this, sorry. There was one missing element, the speed of the buyers was missing. But it looks like I might be all right here. Looks like it's going to come up and test again. If I see that again and another X control pops up, like now, but it breaks this level here, I'm in. I'm going to take another trade. Let's see how we go. This could just pop without me. Like this could just go. That again. There we go. Patience. Getting in. So yeah, first targets are just here. Second targets to that other zone that was predetermined from the 15-minute chart, and that's looking great. That's looking like a good breakout. So very strong signal there, and high volume, cumulative deltas up, just going to move that one back down there. That's not that great. But you know, everything fell into place there. So we've just got to sit on our hands and hope that the buyers, you know, maintain control, because they're in control right now. This is telling me they're in control. This is telling me they're in control. That's a signal to say that they're in control. So we've got everything on our side. The edge is laid out. It's just whether it's going to play out. So we're just stalling a little bit more. I'm not too worried about that. Low volume selling candle. Still in this race. We've got to see another one of these candles right here, breaking this level. More consolidation. Still no sellers here. It's good. It's a good move. Just need some more volume. Let's take a trade actually. That's looking really good. It's looking really strong. Really like that. Fantastic. I think we're going to get a break here. Perfect. First target hit. Let's see if we get some volatility. Perfect. So the first targets were hit. Fantastic. So now we're in essentially a break-even position. And we just want price to rally up to that predetermined zone based off the 15-minute chart. And that's really it. I could basically walk away from this and not really care about the outcome because it's not in my control. I can only control the entries, and I can manage risk, and I have, because we're at break even. So yeah, you can leave money on the table sometimes, but you know, the fact that I'm getting the first target is a good thing. So it looks like we're going to rally, hopefully to that zone there, and then you just call it a day. So that's essentially, if this hits within the next 5 minutes, you know, that's an hour and 5 minutes of trading. I would have been done in the first 16 minutes after that first trade. I'll just quickly point out. There we go. So that's great. Great session. Almost got stopped out here. That's fine. So we took this breakout here, this one here, and that was got out for the second target there, which was great. Then we basically drew our zones here, zone there and one zone there, fainter line, and I said, cool, price breaks above here, we're going to get in. I got in on this candle, right, move my stops just below this swing low here. Often can sometimes just whack you out and then, you know, can get back in for another opportunity. I was lucky it didn't stop me out, right? Saw that, saw this, and then we saw the start of that, right? And that was perfect. So overall, really well traded. And I'm glad I didn't really make any mistakes there. So it's a good video to post. Anyway, I hope you liked it. Leave a comment and subscribe if you would like to see videos like this. And I'll do my best to do more of this. As I said, this is just completely raw and uncut. I think it's sort of good for that purpose. It's good to talk things through rather than these fast edited things. So it gives you a bit of insight as to what I'm thinking and how I'm thinking it. Yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.